Hey, welcome back to my channel, guys. It's your girl, BRANDIJENAE, and you're back at I got a podcast, my channel. Look, I'm trying to make sure everything is cohesive, but this is Internet Cousins, okay? And once you subscribe to my channel, you become a part of the family, okay? We hashtag Cousin Crew. Today we are reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville season 10. It just premiered last night, Saturday, July 19th. Of course, it premiered without Mel. So when we left season 9, that's when we got the announcement from Mel that she wasn't coming back. So it kind of left the show in a little bit of a limbo because we kind of trying to figure out, okay, where do we go from here? So many questions about what Martell's story would be, if it would move on and include his other piece or new life, should I say. And so we get to jump into that today. Okay, did y'all watch? Let me know what you thought about this episode, what you thought about the season premiere. Did you think it was good? Listen, I actually thought it was good. Carlos King knows how to produce a show. And I think this episode overall, just like any first season or first episode of the season, usually we come back checking in with everybody, trying to see, like where everybody is today and after we last left them. The great thing about this season is while it is still a pretty decent time gap, we didn't have to wait like a whole year for this. Finally, production, finally the network, because I know Carlos likes to tell us it's the network, and I'm sure it is. They decide when things are coming out and the breaks and this and that. However, let's be happy that they finally seem to catch up with the timeline of things that's happening on social media, and then us being able to see it play out on the show and it not be a whole year later when we already got the answers, and then we watch the show and we still don't get the answers. But I did think this was a good episode. I was looking forward to Love and Marriage Huntsville. I was not one of the people who decided that I would not watch because Mel wasn't on. I do like Mel. I did not, upon watching coming into Love and Marriage Huntsville second season, somewhere up in there, I kind of Mel. I like Mel. I had like a iffy relationship with Mel. I understood Mel, but of course, once everything started to play out with her, I think just as a woman, you just your heart goes out to what she went through, and on TV, and just embarrassing. So I'm saying this to say I'm not a millimeter. And so it was not the fact that she wouldn't come back this season didn't have anything to do with whether I would watch it or not. I certainly wanted to watch it because I would love to see where the stories go and whether they pick up from here. And I think a lot of the issue, which we see this play out because, of course, some people are listening to the fans, and I guess we're going to try to see if we're going to see some more transparency between the Scotts. And drop down in the comments and tell me what you think about that. Do you think that we're going to see more from the Scotts, or do you think that they're playing a game in which they're not wanting to talk about what's happening with them? Do you think they're transparent? I'd like to hear your comments about it. You see, I have dropped in the call-in link. So once we get about halfway through this review, I'll jump right into it. I'll ask for some call-ins to come so we can discuss it together, okay? All right. So the episode opens with Tisha in the kitchen in their new home, or in the transition home that they have while Scott Manor is being built, with her daughter, and MJ is looking on. She's helping her grate some cheese, kind of, I guess, showing her how to get it done. Um, as they're in the kitchen talking, she kind of calls her son's name, and he's like, no, because he's thinking she want him to help cook. And so she's saying, like, oh, well, I kind of want to help you know what to do when you go to college. Like, and she's right, like, nobody wants to be like waiting on you hand and foot. Like, learn how to do something and you can impress some girls, if you can cook a little something, so you should learn. But in the same time, she's telling him about taking off his do-rag. Now, how about you guys out there with these boys? Have you had that problem where is it the sweat clothes? I know for me with my son, he always wanted to wear joggers. He still to this day does that. And I would try to get him to like wear something else other than joggers. Like, hello. He's seeing now what I mean now that he's older. And yeah, you need to have something else in your wardrobe. Hello. Um, but the do-rag. So when his dad comes down, joins them in the kitchen, Marceau, he kind of says the same thing that Tisha said, which was ask him to take off the do-rag. And so they kind of had a funny moment with that. As that's happening, Miss Wanda shows up, and Marceau is not happy about Miss Wanda. So already we're seeing some of the changes, and I forgot to look. If somebody knows or paid attention, is Melody still getting a producer credit, executive producer credit? I'm gonna be interested to go back and look and see if I see her name in the credits. Either way, what I'm about to say is we already kind of seeing that transition as far as Mel being gone. We know that Wanda was not filming, and that was kind of something that they had agreed to collectively, right? Because Wanda was getting in the middle of stuff for her daughter and maybe saying some things that rubbed Mel the wrong way. Mel felt like she the reason why y'all here, why y'all eating, and I don't want to deal with this. And so she didn't have to deal with it. Same reason why we hadn't heard from Coleslaw or either mentioned her name. But baby, I know she is ecstatic because her name was mentioned today. And so we're going to start calling that girl by her name because she deserves it. But until we get there, you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, so Miss Wanda shows up and Marceau is not happy about that. The kids looked a little funny too. And I guess they looked a little funny because they just kind of like, what's she doing here? I don't know. But I thought they looked a little funny along with their daddy when their grandma showed up. But Miss Wanda is over there to find out about what Martell had to say with this girl on this YouTube. Now, did I do a video about that? I think I do have a video. I'm gonna have to like repost it in the community section so y'all can go back and see it. Wait, I gotta think. I feel like I did do a video, but I don't know. Either way, that's what she over there to find out. Miss Wanda, one thing I am gonna give Miss Wanda all her props for is she is gonna stand up for her daughter. And I'm not mad at that. I don't know if, and y'all let me know, drop down in the comments. I haven't been married before. I do have an affinity for marriage and I do respect marriage. So here's what I'm saying about that. I'm not on the side of the people calling Tisha dumb or stupid or using, language like that with her about her not, wanting to seek out this information that Martell is dying to give out. And the reason why is because I think that she's married to her husband. They've been married for quite some time. Their marriage seems to work. And I'm not upset with her trusting what her husband tells her. I think that we have seen enough for her to trust him, in my opinion. And if we've seen enough for her to trust him, in my opinion, I think it's nothing but fair that she would. And she would show us that. I think sometimes we're so used to seeing discord in marriage that that's the only way it looked normal. And we're not really used to seeing husband and wife like bonding together, no matter what's going on in their marriage, because sometimes that is between them. I don't know. And I know they're on the reality show. I'm just saying because Martell's stuff came spilling out, and he clearly he wasn't being discreet about it at all, but it just came spilling out for him. It wasn't like anybody did, and I feel like that's what he keeps forgetting. Is that nobody gave this information out. It just bubbled out because you was being reckless and irresponsible. That's it. But he got a head of boil with or what, a head of boil. That's like somebody pregnant. Ain't that when he boiled a rabbit or something? But he got to stick up his butt for Marcel and Tisha, and Wanda is just kind of like over it because here he talked about the 20 women, and now he is on YouTube with this girl who none of us really believe. That whole YouTube video fell flat. And now that I'm thinking about it, I like I said, I have to go back and look. I can't remember. I feel like I may have done the video. I think I did. I think I did. But it was just, it fell flat. And nobody really, we picked up on it, but the girl just looked like some wayward girl. I don't know. And I'm not trying to down nobody, and I don't know what anybody would sleep with. All I'm saying is she just didn't look like the one. That's all. So Martell, dig in your bag of tricks and come out with something better. Something we can all get on board with. Hey, Miss Dugan. Hey, Cousin Crew. Thanks for joining me. Did you watch Love and Marriage Huntsville? So back to Miss Wanda. That's like say one thing I'm gonna give her props for is she coming for her daughter, okay? And she gonna let Marcel know she don't give a doggone what. So what I wanted to ask y'all is, does she cross the line with Marcel? Is there a space where is Tisha supposed to is she supposed to stop her mom? Or because I feel like Tisha wants her mom to do it just because maybe it is a way for her to ask questions that she might want asked without putting a seed of doubt in her marriage, right? You say you definitely watched, was about to watch again. Okay, yes. Okay, come back and join us. So I feel like, so yeah, let me know, do we think that um you say, yeah, Tisha wants her mom to do it, but it's not cool. Okay. Okay, she worse than Mama Joyce. Okay. I just, well, okay, I do see where she oversteps in the way she speaks to Marcel, but I guess I just like the fact that Marcel know, you do something to my daughter, she coming. I like that. I don't know. I don't know what that is in me. And that's why I feel like I think they keep Marcel on his toes. I don't know. I don't know. But we ain't had no proof come out just yet outside of what Martell brought us. And do make sure you do come back so we can do, you can call in so we can talk about the show. I got the call in link already in the comments, but I'll drop it again if I need to. Okay, so let's go back. Let me see what else is Miss Wanda talking about. So basically, she's looking for an answer from Marcel. Marcel is basically doing Marcel, giving her that same dry, Marcel answer he give us. He give Tisha. One thing about that Marcel, he don't switch code. Okay, he is not a code switcher. And that's why I say you can really take them for face value. I think that is hard for people to adjust to because it feels abrasive. But listen, he like, what did I say in the first place? And Wanda's like, you didn't say anything. He like, well, that's the answer. She say that's not good enough. And so he basically is giving her the same runaround. So Tisha, she said, well, do you know the girl? And Tisha kind of cuts in there and says, okay, we're not going there. So this is where I think Tisha say, okay, too far. So maybe Tisha just allows her mother to do as much as she does, maybe for the cameras. Do we think that, I don't know, Wanda overbearing, she always been that way. This is not a put on. But she cuts in and let her know, like, we're not doing that. And I feel like that was more, too, to just cut in to not have any more internet fodder about it, to kind of try to control a little bit of the narrative about what it is they're going to give the internet to go and talk about. Um, and also, if them two have talked about their situation or talked about this and that lady and whether he knew or not, like I do think that even though they are on reality TV, um, it's their marriage, and they are due to a certain amount of privacy in which possibly they discuss their own things that we don't know about, and we don't have to have the intimate details of what his answers were to her, what she accepted, you know. And again, it's not falling out the seams for us. So yeah, I think it's okay for them to discuss that between them at this point. Um, so she does ask Miss Wanda, Tisha asks Miss Wanda, like, why don't you like Marcel? And Wanda says she doesn't like the way he speaks to her, talking about Tisha. I think that's been a running theme too, as long as Love and Marriage Huntsville has been on, is that Marceau maybe is disrespectful to Tisha. I know that I see Marceau as like, I'm gonna use the term chauvinistic, but I see Marcel also as a protector. Go back to the episode or the season when they did the retreat. And that to me proves that their marriage and however way they communicate with each other, they understand each other because they did better than the other two couples, remember? And I think it was three, because didn't Whitfields, didn't they leave? Um, right, because Tiffany, oh God. Anyhow, so that for me was kind of like the proof in the pudding, which is like, okay, people really need to stop, and they might want to like take a look and see how it works for them. They clearly do communicate well with each other. Whether we think they talk about the things they should or shouldn't or whatever, I don't think that's up for us to figure out. And we should just kind of see how they manage to work it out instead of letting everybody kind of poke with them, you know. Anyway, so now we check in with Maurice and Kimmy, which they talking to Monster. We see Kimmy is talking to Monster about, you know, him getting ready to go to college and how important it is for him to basically make good decisions. That, you know, he's gonna be somewhere and his friends gonna want to do other things, and he's really gonna have to buckle down and you know, basically stay in his books. Good conversation, I think. Maurice comes in and addresses kind of piggybacks off that conversation to slide in, you know, bringing up the DUI. So, you know, as a part to talk about, let's say, character, I think it is, and how people will take something bad that you did and really just hold on to that. He asked Monster, had anybody at his school brought up Maurice his DUI? And so Monster kind of said, yeah. He's like, well, what do they say about it? And he's like, well, they make jokes and, you know, make fun or whatever. So he's like, right, but they didn't go back and follow up to see that it was dismissed. So this was the laziest production right here, because okay, this is how you kind of address your DUI and also address the fact that it had been dismissed. I feel like us in the internet world, the Love and Marriage Huntsville fans, I think we all did address Maurice's DUI being dismissed. Um, but it's kind of like, I mean, good, it was dismissed. It doesn't necessarily mean that I don't know, that you wasn't. It was just dismissed. And so, and yeah, that is good. But again, it doesn't prove anything. You just don't have anything on your record. And great. Because that is the goal, is to keep your record clean. And I feel like, what'd you say? Baby, I love me some Marceau. Yes. Mars soldiers. The Mars soldiers. That's what they are. Yeah. I like Marceau too. I'm glad you said that, Miss Duggan. I've been saying that from the beginning. Like, I actually like Marceau. I think his communication is direct, concise. I don't think you. Same with Kimmy. I like the way that Kimmy communicates. I think you're not confused about what she's saying, and that's. I mean, with Marceau, when I say you're not confused about what Kimmy's saying, I don't think that about Marceau, but I do think that Marceau is just a straight shooter in which I feel like his answers, especially to, let's say, the public or to Wanda, is more so kind of a testament to what he feels like he owes. And I think he's clear about that, in my opinion. I don't have a problem with Marceau. Yes, Kimmy is the coolest of them all. Okay, yes, Kimmy is our girl. We love Kimmy over here too. Even though Kimmy was acting a little funny with Mel last season, but that's okay. We love Kimmy over here. So let me see. Where was I at, y'all? Let me go. I accidentally moved it down. Okay, so that, like I say, that was his way of addressing that. I thought it was real, just real surface based. Because it feels like we more so wanted the details about what happened and not just that it was dismissed. But okay. So Cammy finds a way to then ask Maurice, brings up the conversation that Chris Fletcher had with Melody last season. You say, well, I never been a male fan, so I didn't care how Okay, and see, I just explained that. Like, I had a empathy for Mel, and I am so glad for the way she's got her products. She doing her thing over there. I'm no hater. But was she my favorite? No, I do like Kimmy. Kimmy is my favorite. And I think she is the coolest. I think she's the most down to earth. I don't think she playing too many games. I mean, the TV game is what it is, but I don't think she is like really that nasty with it. I think she is the closest to who she is. Um, so yeah, she finds her way to be able to bring up the conversation that Chris Fletcher had with Mel last season, outside what was that, like the popcorn shop or something. And Mel was asking Chris about this advice Martell kept saying that the older man was giving him, like how to cheat right, I guess, like as if there is a right way to cheat. And part of it was like, oh, you got to get people to sign NDAs. And so Chris Fletcher in that conversation said, well, no, I didn't tell him anything like that. Like, that sounds more like Maurice or Marceau, something they would do, something to that effect. So Kimmy is now addressing this on camera with Maurice. And here we go with this produced scene. Now, I didn't really care for this scene, because here's where we found it got phony towards the end. So she asked him, like, what did he mean? Had they had anybody sign an NDA? And so Maurice is like, I never had no one sign an NDA. And so she like, well, that's not the right answer. And so now she's kind of giggling and making fun of it. And I'm thinking, do you want to know this answer or not? Or is this a serious moment where you are actually addressing it? Because it feels like you're trying to make fun of all of us as if we the ones that I don't know, like we crazy for thinking that that would be the way that somebody would keep themselves from cheating from getting out. Like, I think that's a lot, the way people keep a lot of things from getting out. I think that's the entire purpose of it. So it was like that. I didn't really care for that. So I mean, and it felt, I don't know if it was like a man thing, if they was making fun of him, just kind of being a man and being oblivious to how women may need to have a question answered, or if she was making fun. And because Kimmy is a straight shooter, because she was laughing, I feel like she was making fun. Because I feel like I think we've seen Maurice kind of be silly with her about something that she's serious about, and we've seen her check him about it. So anyway, like I say, he skates around it, kind of saying like, well, I never had a chick, nobody signed an NDA. And so Kimmy's like, that's not the right answer. And so like I said, she starts to giggle, and he like, well, like, what else can I say? And so she's like, well, you're supposed to say you don't have a side chick. And so he like, well, shouldn't that be obvious? And she's like, no, it's not obvious. So this is where that for me was produced, because I think that that's just, the producers giving notes about, hey, you guys are going to need to address, X, Y, and Z. So I guess from the previews, it looks like we will see a scene with Maurice and Martell, in which Maurice will address Martell directly. Now he's going to ask him a crass question like, "Well, if you said you was in the same room with me and we effed, these girls together, then what does my, penis look like?" I don't know how somebody's supposed to describe that. Um, But okay. I guess we're gonna see this, like I say, at some point during the season. Because I feel like also right now we didn't see any scenes with them together, because this is coming off of the reunion. The reunion was filmed in October, and I think they started filming like right after the Christmas, like after the New Year or something. Because if I'm not mistaken, um by the time the reunion was airing, I think they was getting ready to go back to filming. That's how Melody ended up announcing her departure, and she also verified that they had asked her to come back. Anyhow, so now we check in with Destiny, and oh my lord, Destiny, Destiny, Destiny. They're gonna keep pushing this Destiny on us. They're gonna keep pushing this Destiny on us. But we check in with where she at now. Baby, she has terrible luck with men. Um, she is restructuring her Madani business to candles and I think some body oils, and feels a little Melody 2.0 ish. Here's the thing. Beauty industry. I have a beauty brand that I am having to rebrand myself. Um, and here's the thing, it's $1 billion industry, so there's money to be made in the beauty industry. I'm not trying to insinuate that just because somebody on the cast is in the beauty industry, that another person could not be in that same industry. What I am suggesting is you might be taking credit for somebody's idea, and because y'all not friends and you're not really saying, like that, hey, you got some ideas from this person. That's what make it look like a copycat. That's all. Okay. But we check in with her. She is talking to some lady, honey, because she didn't pick back up her real estate license. What she told us was, what we did not know is that she also was in real estate. I'm confused about why that wasn't how well, anyhow. Because I'm gonna just move on from that. So she meets with Martell. She has a gift for him. I think it's one of her candles from her line. I think she got Big D energy. I'm not sure if she got candles in that or not, because I haven't been onto her website. I think I've been on it once, but it was before the candles. Like I think I went on to just kind of check it out and see. And that was like last summer. I haven't been back there, but her and Martell catches up. She asks Martell what he's been up to, and baby, we hear Arionne's name for the first time. They see her, they show her pictures. And listen, we knew that this was coming because was it like Friday or something? Arionne put a post up on her Instagram, and it was from the 100 Black Men gala, I think in Atlanta or maybe in Huntsville, somewhere. And it happened last summer. Now I can tell y'all that because I remember the live that she did um, when they was leaving. Because as a matter of fact, they did the live, and then now that's strange. Oh no, 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 it's not strange. Okay, they had to be filming. When they did the live, they started telling us about the YouTube coming up on that live. So anyhow, she posted that picture on Friday, the picture of them at that gala. And she tagged Martell, her man, her man, her man. And Martell replied, he confirmed that's his girl. Now she not on his Instagram, And I guess that's perfectly okay. But I'm sure she was just really ecstatic to just kind of be in that space. And you know what? We happy for her because she stood around for a long time. Like while he messed around with Sheree, whoever else. I think Sheree probably was the most embarrassing, especially if it was for publicity too. Like, God, because y'all just should have broke whatever code and went on with her. Anyhow, so like I said, we hear her name for the first time. They show her picture, so we know she done signed a release. It's to be seen if she gonna film any further. I feel like she will at least film with Martell. I don't think the other girls are really gonna fool with her. I think it's gonna take a little while before that happened. But that's why I got to go back and look at those credits because I got to see who's getting EP credit because Martell was martelling on this episode. I don't know if y'all paid attention. And it's when I say martelling, like he wants these people to be eaten out of his hand. And I do feel like he feels like he's the reason why the show is what it is. And so with Mel being gone, I think he the HNIC at this point. And I feel like that's kind of the conversation we saw him have with Destiny and the Fletchers as well. But let's get back to this conversation with Destiny. No, no, don't let me go too far. So for some reason, the producers asked Martell, like, what does him and Destiny have in common? So he goes ahead and verifies that they met each other in high school, and that they both are single parents. They both are in real estate, and they're both basically recreating themselves. Um, okay, I don't have anything to say about that. I guess. Um, She then lets Martell know that she wants him to list her on a property that he has. So he kind of is a little hesitant because he says he's promised that property to two other people, Chris Fletcher being one, and somebody else he mentioned. And so Destiny's like, well, you just gonna have to list me too. What I think this means is that he's gonna have three different agents able to go and sell this house. And so what she said is, may the best lady win. Now, Destiny, we caught that little shade. I guess she was shading Chris for being a tattle at times, or even for what he had to say to Mel about the NDA situation. But yeah, caught that shade. So she agrees to be listed as the third person. Martell lets her know that he been helping Arionne get through nursing school. Destiny say, okay, so you finally investing in your woman. He like, well, I got to, she been around all this time. He finally is able to share his story with Arionne. The fact that he met her while he was married, the fact that he called this lady a peasant on national television, he's able to take it back on national television. He took it back. I don't know if that's going to be good enough well, clearly it's already good enough for Arionne. Um, so he publicly apologized, says he does not feel that way about her today, that she is a good girl, and he is lucky to have her by his side. Destiny says she is happy to see him being a one woman man. He kind of says, well, yeah, of course. As if I always have been. That's the way he said it. Ariana, enjoy the low life while you can, honey. That's all I got for you. That is all I got for you. So at the same time, he also said, that if she plays her cards right, keep playing her cards right, Ariane, that she might get a ring. I wouldn't be surprised if Martell does end up asking this woman to marry him. I wouldn't be surprised if they do end up getting married. Listen, at the end of the day, I feel like I am a romantic. I don't know if I'm a hopeless romantic at this point. There was a point in time in my life where I was. Um, but I don't know if hopeless romantic is the way to describe me today. I am definitely a romantic. And so here's what I mean when I'm saying that. Listen, for what he went through in his marriage to be with this girl, and then for her to have his, his son, and it not work out with his marriage, I would think that you would be with her. Because you surely did go through a lot to be with her while you were married to another person. That's it. That might not be as romantic, but they try to make, like, that's what I mean. Like, that, for what they have is not a hopeless romantic situation. That would be nothing that I would hope for anybody to find themselves in as far as a romantic situation. I pray for anybody listening to my video. If you are single, I pray that your man is not wrapped up in you being the side chick, and waiting on him to get a divorce. Like, I don't necessarily think that's the hopeless romantic part. Now, maybe the romantic part is that, okay, once he get a divorce, he go ahead and be with you. We see how long it takes for that to happen. But I mean, so that's what I'm saying. At the very least, that's what he could do. What Denzel say? I'm leaving here with something. Let the girl leave here with something. Okay, y'all, we got to figure out somebody for her to film with. I guess that's probably why they should have brought. I didn't want to see this lady back, no way. But I guess with Stormy. I mean, it's not Stormy. What's that girl name, honey? That stole Destiny's other man. Because we're gonna get to her and her men problems, honey. Oh, this girl needs to be by herself for a minute. What was, oh, Moses, Sonny, that was that girl name. Whew, Lord Jesus. She like the girl from Clark. Yvonne, right? How can we forget Sonny? Anyway, it seemed like maybe they should have brought her back because Sunny don't have any connections to any of the other girls, and so she could have filmed with Arionne, and they could have been newfound friends. Like, that's just kind of how I see it. Martell could have took Moses in as a mentee and mentored him on doing the real estate stuff. Look, I just produced that already, but they wasn't feeling it, and we wasn't feeling Sunny, so I do understand why she not on our screens. Which brings me to Destiny, because then Martell asks Destiny, if she's talked to Lance. And so she's like, well, no, like, basically he probably busy with this new baby that he has. So he didn't tell you he was having a baby. She said, no, listen, this is the first time I had heard it. I was whatever day years old that the preview came out. Whatever day that was, that's how old I was when I realized or found out that Lance had some baby. Now listen, this is also it. I don't follow every single person that be on our reality shows, just the ones I deem, important enough. Or that I kind of have like or have an affinity to. Lance is not one of them. I never even looked up his IG. I didn't even realize it was people following him on IG because I felt like he was just kind of, I don't know. I don't know. He was Nell's son. I didn't necessarily see him as part of the cast. Even with Destiny, I guess she part of the cast. Maybe she was part of that. I don't know. I see Destiny as a friend of still. And I'm not like, I wasn't interested in Destiny's story. And right now I feel like she does have a lot to focus on. And Dating These Men is not one of them. She has a horrible picker. Ever since we seen her on these screens, we just ain't seen her be in a good relationship yet. I'd rather see her in a relationship with herself at this point. That's kind of where I'm at with it. Because how did man have, you got one man that was like building a whole nother relationship to the point where he turned around and married the girl, and you've been on the man for 15 years. Like, and men be effed up like that. Like, I'm not blaming her, like, to say something is wrong with her because these men are effed up the way that they are. But I'm just saying, like, maybe if you just choose yourself, then you won't be with these losers. You'll let them just take that loser energy over to, I don't know, somebody else. That's kind of how I feel it. So let's see. Let me see. Where am I at? Okay, so then she takes the time to kind of have a heart to heart with Martell, kind of about his YouTube video. Martell defends himself, saying he need to get the truth out, basically. Like, he's done playing with these people. That's the same thing that he told the Fletchers. I don't think we got to that part yet. Um, Destiny just basically tries to plead with Martell though. And I kind of like what she said. That's, to me, that's what a friend would do. It's kind of just point out to him that, truth or not truth, by you kind of playing in the mud, and you trying to rebuild, you're trying to, kind of do these things, these great things. Playing in the mud is really not going to benefit you in that way. And so maybe you just kind of cut your losses and move on. Now she didn't say it in that way, but basically that's what she was saying to him. It seemed like he took a heart to heart. Every so often, I think that Martell does listen, but I think that Martell is still like a little boy at heart. And so, the little boy in him, his pride, and his ego, just needs to get out whatever it is he got on Marceau. And I'm just here to tell him, get it off your chest, boy. Like, don't be having a stroke and stuff because you waiting on something to happen, so you can do this. If you want to get it out, so everybody can deal with it, I guess. And I feel like Marceau gave him permission to do so. Anyhow, I like that Destiny did take the time out to have that conversation with Marceau. But Martell seems to think that the interview did what he wanted it to do, which was make Marceau shut up. He said, he ain't said nothing else. He finally learned. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So, because the way Marceau see it is, he just not responding to your bull. I kind of understand. I don't know. Should he respond? I didn't think he should. So then we go see Ken meet with Marquez. Now, this is the family that I think we could have left behind. Because Marquez is a loose cannon. And that's funny because I think sometimes as we're watching reality TV, and we see some of these people that have just these explosive moments and explosive personalities, and especially when they're dealing with these sensitive subjects, it gets to a point where it feels exploitative. And that's kind of what Trish, Ken, and Marquez, what this situation feels like to me. Because Marquez is not dealing with a full deck. Um, and he is very committed to making sure that there's a narrative that he is a part of. And it's really nerve wracking because there's all of these holes. Because I feel like this story is being overproduced. Anyway, we see Ken meet up with Marquez, and this, of course, is after the reunion. And so they kind of just discuss moving forward, how they're gonna co-parent with the children. Yes, Ken, Trisha's boyfriend, met up with her baby daddy to discuss co-parenting. Listen, where Ken stands, I'm kind of like, I'm all here for him being just that willing participant in ushering a unity and not being a person who is adding to division. He just seemed overzealous to me sometimes. And and Marquez is unbalanced. So I don't know. But I guess because maybe he has his emotions under more better control than Marquez and Trisha. He probably is the better person to kind of play the middleman between them two. So Ken does explain how he had to swallow his pride, and basically try to make this work out for them. I kind of give him big ups for that. Again, he seemed a little overzealous, but I'm all for him kind of being the person to usher in peace. Marquez have went from Oh yeah. So I say Marquez went from talking to him about let's get, play date schedule. I'm like, a play date. Anyway, okay, you gonna have a play date with your own kids. Fine. See what I'm saying? He not all there. You say you over the Trish, Ken, and Marquez storyline. I know. Well, I really think it's because Marquez is unbalanced, and I don't want to see him crash out. Like, I really don't. I don't want to see Trisha crash out. I think Ken is the only one who might not crash out. even though it looked like they finna get into a fight next week. But I say Marquez went from scheduling time to try to pick up the kids and work on his relationship to maybe one day they can go on vacation. I felt like that was a huge jump. But you see, that's what I mean. Marquez is not all there because how did you get all of that? How did you go all the way there? Like you ain't seen your kids in a long time. I can't remember the time frame of years, but it was a long time. I don't know how we jumped all the way to the vacation. And what that says to me is that he has this show in the forefront of his mind. He has this, and those are not good people to watch. That's all. So I agree with you, Angela. Thanks for joining me. I agree with you. I'm over the storyline. It's forced. And listen, I don't think that it's fake, but it's forced. What they want to talk about, where they are in their progress and growth. All of this is forced. It's kids that got to deal with these with their parents. This feels exploitative. Am I saying that right, y'all? But it feels like they're exploiting. Um, and I don't like it. And I don't need to watch it anymore. I agree with you. But for this season, here we are. So we'll move on to Chris and Nell. So we see them at their house. Nell mentions her seeing Lance in passing at the center and says that he seemed like he's overwhelmed, seemed like he, is having trouble with this new baby. And that maybe she should, try to help him out. Now put a pin in that really quick because maybe it's my own trigger for like the lack of support I have with my kids, but I also think about women in general. I want to know from the women, how many times has somebody seen you overwhelmed and then came in and was like, hey, let me help you out? I feel like there's this thing, and like I say, sometimes it triggers me when I see like a mom do it to their son. Because I just it just kind of be like, do you help the girls with their kids? Like, I don't know. It feels like men are not supposed to be overwhelmed with their own kids. And so women are, so quick to run in and help them. I don't know. But that's our son. So let me just dial it back. Because, of course, if I saw my son struggling, I'm going to help him out too. Again, I just looked at it on a more broader scale. Do we take the time to think about how much, even as women, that we allow other women to really have on their plate without kind of stepping in and, being a help to them? Do we like the way that we put the weight on women as if because they women they supposed to have it, anyway, and because he's a man he can't, like, he's overwhelmed by dropping his child off at daycare. Okay, probably a daycare he don't even pay for. Okay, you know what I mean, like, am I missing something? Y'all let me know. Either way, so like I say, I might have been triggered. That might be my own trigger. I help my daughter and my son with the kids. Yeah, I'm not saying that you shouldn't help, but you saying both. And that's kind of what I mean. I feel like I would do both, but I don't know, it felt like there was this like say it might have been just a trigger of mine. Like we always go in and want to protect these men so bad and we just forget about the girls. Yes, free childcare, right? Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, he's stressed out, like, and I'm interested to know, like, does that mean he has primary care? Because, again, I'm just interested to know what this stress out is about and what it looked like. I think they're just making up stuff. Let me tell it. Okay, so let me see. Oh, we found out that they have two new grandbabies. So both Chris Jr. and Lance both have new baby girls. The Fletchers seem to be surprised by both. Of course, we all surprised by that information as well, considering we did see them all last season, and considering we saw Lance dating Destiny. So that was a shocker. Doesn't mean you couldn't have done something. Somebody end up pregnant. I mean, it take 9 months for the girl to have a baby. He out there wilding out, slanging his big D everywhere. And there we go. That's what I'm going back to Destiny. Like that seemed to be your thing. I don't know. Anyway, so then Chris lets Neil know that Martell is gonna come over. So Neil kind of like, oh Lord, so she gonna have to address her live that she did in response to the photo. So there was a photo with Neil and Arionne. Now I did post that photo and I was kind of questioning then, like, was Arionne filming? Now I feel like this picture took place before the filming, before this season that we watching. So no, the answer to is that gonna be shown? I'm already answering my own question to say no. But as I told Angela on her live, I do think the fact that we saw her picture as they're saying her name, because in previous seasons it was a no. They beeped her name out and even referred to her as coleslaw. Okay, would not even refer to the girl as her name. But we're not gonna do that here because since she has signed the release, she is no longer coleslaw. Now we know how it started, but now we just gotta go on and give it to the girl, and that girl name is Arionne. Okay, that is her God-given name, and we're gonna call her that. You say I thought she was putting on about Lance baby straight. Yeah, she definitely was. Like, yeah, she just was saying something because I sure would like to know. And and maybe that's the part that triggered me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's icky. Because it is females out here like really stressing out. Okay. And you sitting up, all he got to do is drop his baby off at his mother's daycare. Are you kidding me? Anyhow, so like I said, she knows she gonna have to talk to. Come on, hey, give me 1 second, and give me like 20 minutes or so. Now I'll be ready. Oh, okay. Well, hey, Caitlin. Sorry, y'all. All right. Okay, because she went live just basically to say that she don't know that girl. Because I think Martell K walked up to her, introduced her to Ariane. She shook her hand, and then boom, there was a picture. It was all over the internet. Like I said, I believe I posted the picture too, because I was just wondering, was they filming? And I figured that it was a sneak up on Nell. Yeah, she is, honey. Side pieces winning now. Okay, Miss Ariana, she waited her time. She waited. I don't know if she was that patient, but she waited her time, and so the time has come. I mean, it only took 10 seasons to get here. That might be a total of what, 8 years. We talking. This show came on in like 2018, right? So 19, 20, 21, 24, 5. Yeah. 8 years, honey. She held on. She held, and that's what I'm saying. Like the least he could do is marry her. And that was kind of icky of him. Like to sit up talking about, yeah, she keep playing the cards, right? She might get this ring. Like, ew. That's the least you could do. Who else you running around thinking about marrying? Who you done drug through the mud publicly the way you did. And it ain't Mel because she ain't thinking about you. Yeah, nobody. Well, I feel like that's the TV world. Like, even when they showed that clip of Chris Fletcher's conversation, they didn't show him having the conversation with Mel. And Kimmy, when she brought it up, she referenced the streets, right? Like she didn't mention that it was Mel having that conversation directly with Chris Fletcher. But that's okay because I'm gonna remind y'all that it was Mel, it wasn't the streets. It was Mel and Chris Fletcher talking. All right, so let me see. So she basically, so Nell basically just asked Martell directly to clarify that she doesn't know her. Like I said, even when the picture came out, I felt that it probably was a sneak up because I don't think that Nell would entertain Arionne even on the show. It'll be interesting to see how this progresses. Because I do think that she does have a loyalty or affinity for Mel, and I think that she will try to keep that. So I think that's why it was so important for her to have Martell verify, like, I don't know this girl. So Martell, said, yeah, you didn't know her. And so then she asked him directly about the photo. And he's like, well, I wouldn't have anybody set. She thought that he had it set up. He said, I wouldn't have anybody set up the photos. Like, that happened to me before. Like, I wouldn't do that. Do we believe Martell? I kind of, listen, here's what I'm going to say. It's believable enough because you're in a public place, and with everybody kind of knowing the story, anybody could have taken that picture. Now, how they would know to get it at that very moment, I don't know. The same way some of the bloggers know when people not following people, or you know what I mean? Like, I think there is a way for something like that to have gotten out and it not come from somebody directly, like Martell. But at the same time, I don't put it past Martell. So I'm not really sure. But Nell went ahead and accepted, what he had to say that he didn't. He told her he thinks she owe him an apology. She went ahead and gave him the apology. That is the moment that I realized Martell is about to play with these people. And so I feel like the answer to if Arionne will film, I think it's yes, it's inevitable. But what it looked like when she filmed is gonna be a different thing. Is Martell gonna enter the room in a group function with this lady on his arm and shock everybody who thought they would be able to create the boundary of them not having direct contact with her? Because again, I said this last season when we were talking about Melody's exit. Um, because that is her idea, because this did come from something that they all had the idea of doing, even though they're all in different places now, I think there is just a thread of respect. And I think that them filming with Arionne, the Scots specifically, um filming with Arionne will cross a boundary or just a surface of respect for Mel that they won't be able to come back from. And I don't think that they are willing to do that. And I feel like the only way that it's going to happen is for Martell to ambush them. um, so like I say, it's inevitable that oh, here you go, word in the curb. I'm finna pull you up in a minute. It's inevitable that Arionne will film. I just don't know what that looks like. I'm about to add word on the curb to the stage. Come on, let's go. Hey,
Hey,
hey girl. Thanks for joining me. So listen, I know how you feel about Trish and Kim, but what do you think about Arionne? Like I said, I think it's inevitable that she's going to film. I just don't know what it looked like.
well, I think they did their due diligence to Melody. They waited till she left to show herself. And I feel like, as a business standpoint, for them, I mean, they would get all kind of views because everybody want to see the mess.
That
And also, that Martell, he's on the show. He has the right to show his life. And it's not with Melody. And now we get to see what it looked like for the side piece to be winning.
I mean, right. Listen, you would just say, I mean, the side piece is winning. And I agree with that. That's why I was kind of interested. I said I'm gonna go back and see if I notice if Mel is still getting a EP credit,
That's all I
which
wanted to know.
it can be just a vanity title. She may still not want to have any involvement in what that means for cast and all of that. But I do agree that I feel like that was the discord in these seasons prior to, why we still kept having that regurgitated kind of argument between Mel and Martell, is simply because he couldn't show that part of his life. Um, for her, like I say, out of respect. And I guess Carlos said, "Hey, look, you gone." Arionne was gonna sign the release. We knew that she was.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she already told us about other times she's shown up to filming, with the guys at least. And so they go back to, I don't know, like I feel like Martell's gonna have to ambush them. Or it will be scenes with just her and Martell, maybe his son. Maybe we get a chance to see some of that part also. Yeah. Yeah, and I'm okay with it. This, like you say, here we are. This is where we are now. So,
Yes.
Yeah,
because they got divorced, what, in 2021 or 2022? This 2025.
Yeah, exactly. I think about 21. You got to be right. You say when and what? Martell ain't. You ain't lying, honey. That's what I said. Enjoy the low life while you can, honey. Like,
you see how when Destiny said, "Yeah, I'm glad to see you a one lady's man," I'm like, and he kind of like stuttered, like, "Yeah, sure." I'm like,
and that's what I say, like, as if, and I guess on one end for her, maybe that's who she's known him to be, being that he was married for however time frame. And listen, maybe he was going through a whole phase while he wasn't married. I don't know. And like I said, I don't wish for any woman watching my live. I don't wish for your romantic story to come in a package where this man got to cheat on his wife, risk his life to come out and meet you, bring COVID back to his kids. Like, I don't pray that love story on anybody.
no.
That's crazy to me. But if you're going to go through all of that, the very least you could do is go ahead, make it official. Mario, you went through a whole lot to do all of this. So get on with the program. I didn't like his comment where he talked about if she keep playing her cards right, she
exactly, because
like,
he's acting like he's surprised and not she. And if I was her, girl, I'd been dropped him so quick. I'm sorry. I'm surprised, nigga.
Like I said, at this point, she done stuck around for so long, she might as well.
And I'm like, she just now going to nursing school? Or
I kind of will take that in. I'm gonna take that in, like kind of in just because with her being young, single mom, trying to have, thought she had like a clothing business. All I'm gonna say is sometimes it might take some people a little time. I don't know, so that's what he said she doing, honey. We gonna, I guess. Like,
when you say nursing school, that means a whole lot to me.
Her by doing that YouTube. And my thing, like even when they did that YouTube, to your point, it would have been a much better story had y'all came on and talked about yourself. And that. So like I said, you notice how he was able to kind of wrap their story up in a way, So yeah, like I say, it's inevitable. She's coming. The story will be told, and shown, and we just gonna see how everything follows behind it. And I think that Martell has no problem with burning the whole house down if that's what.
That's why I said Tisha danced with the devil. He was like, I'm gonna show you something.
Yeah, he'll burn the whole damn place down.
I'm like, oh my God.
That's when Destiny told him to shake on it. He talked about some, I ain't shaking on that. But I ain't mad at him. Like, you doggone right. Don't even shake on it. Because you know damn well, you jumping right off the cliff. As soon as somebody got something to say, you jumping right off the cliff. And that's where we was at with the Fletchers. So they mosey on around to being able to bring up that Tisha did the interview live with Carlos. Mm-hmm. And basically insinuated that Martell might be homosexual. Or had slept with a man. Let me say that, and not jump all the way to that. Okay, that's what. So because she had said, and because I don't think one means the other. Am I right? Are we there now? Right? One don't mean the other.
Some people just freaks.
Right? Exactly. That's why I said, well, we all clear on that now today. So
Uh-huh.
let me clean that up.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so this is again where I'm noticing that Martell is martelling, okay, and what he's doing is kind of making sure that some of these players know that they eating out of his hand, like Chris Fletcher and Neil Fletcher, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so because I found it interesting that they brought up Tisha being on the live in order to get into his live, his YouTube, because of course that live was in response to the YouTube he did with Arionne.
I thought that was first.
No, I think Tisha's live was first.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh
Tisha,
no, no,
yeah.
no, not Tisha's live. No, I think Martell's live was first. And then Tisha came on.
I thought she was responding to the, because
maybe you know what?
she was responding to the episode. Because remember, Carlos King
said
those messy Mondays or whatever, when they talk about the show. So she was responding to what he was saying on the show about her and the dude from college or whatever. And then he went later on after the season was over with, and him and Arionne did that the upload that took forever.
Right. Well, that's what I was saying. Remember the picture that she posted? That was taken last summer. That's why I'm actually thinking that maybe it all happened simultaneously. Like they did the live while the show was airing, and then live went, because the 100 Men Gala, Arionne went live while they was doing that gala. And on the live, she told us about the YouTube that they was coming out with. But you might be right. It might have been, like I said, it might have been simultaneously. Like, and it might have been that live happened first.
Because it seemed like we got that live from Martell. That wasn't in the summer. We got that after they filmed the reunion.
That was, yeah, because I was in the suite. Yeah. Okay, you're right. Okay, let's get the okay. That's probably right. All right. So they bring that up, and like I said, get on to his YouTube with the girl. And Martell basically just tell them he is not letting out. He ain't letting the foot off the neck. Okay, he's like, I'm telling everything. Basically, the Fletchers seem to agree. Again, for me, I felt like Martell was flexing his weight with them in a secret way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like basically want them to choose his side.
Yeah.
And it seems like they have. Because they seem to be in agreement with him about feeling like he's been through a lot. I'm kind of confused why he keeps blaming him about it. Like, I don't like everything I don't know why he feel like it's their fault, but he does. And now the Fletchers seem to agree that the Scotts are not as transparent as they should be. Again, I'm not even sure what it is they want us to know about these people. Because I kind of feel like if you got something to say, spit it out. What is going on?
Well, how true was that they said at one time while they were filming that Tisha and Marceau was actually separated?
So I feel like Marceau and Tisha said that on their live, and was talking about that they were going to be doing some counseling. I don't know if this is supposed to be coming up in this season. That was kind of the way that it was seeming like it was being dropped. And then we noticed in the cast photo that they on opposite sides. I don't know if they playing semantics with that. So I don't know if that's something that happened previous, if that's something that's happened current, if that's something that's coming out because they're gonna go to counseling. You know what I'm saying?
Girl, I just noticed you put Arionne picture in there.
She part of the cast now.
Yes, she is. She part of the cast.
And then look, I said I gotta take it back. I gotta make a whole new short because about a year ago, honey, I had stumbled over to Arionne's Instagram, and I don't even know why or how, but what I went over there to look at or look for. But what caught me was the fact that she had public figure under her thing, and so I thought, what? So I did a whole little video like, is she a public figure? Did y'all? I didn't know because at this point in time, she hadn't been on nobody's TV screen, so I didn't really realize that she was a public figure. Now I know we talk about her, but I didn't realize she. I thought it was funny, and so after last night's show, well, she's a public figure now. Honey. Like so. I guess you speaking into existence, girl.
Yes.
So like I said, Fletcher seemed to agree with Martell. And so I feel like that's what we start to see. Nell and the Fletchers basically are against the Scotts. And I feel like that's part of the thread, what we're gonna see happen this season. And all four of them is what I said. Like they think the same for Tisha, Marceau, Kimmy, and Maurice. Martell then asked the Fletchers about if Lance had a baby on Destiny. They kind of joke about, Nell says, like, how? Again, here we go with Destiny and these wayward ass relationships she have herself in. I just think she needs to be by herself. She has a horrible picker. And clearly you like men who like other women, I guess. Like because
and Lance is so much younger than her.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like what, 33?
Right. Yeah.
So she got to be at least 45.
Which I guess that's what Nell was trying to point out.
So, and then when she said she hadn't talked to him in a while, so the relationship was over with. She said she had.
I mean, but it seemed like she had that same little thing with oh boy, Moses, right? Yeah. It was kind of like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and let's talk about the women who like want relationships that are distant, or long distance, in a sense, because what does that mean in a sense? Because I kind of feel like if you prefer having relationships that are long distance, then maybe that's a survival technique to where you don't have to really kind of get that close to a person, but still kind of have the illusion of the closeness, I guess, because y'all gonna go visit each other. You know what I'm saying? Y'all talking and whatever, you in a relationship. But I don't know how you seeing somebody, sleeping with somebody, dating somebody, and y'all go this time frame without talking.
Exactly. She said she hadn't seen him since Los Angeles, which would be the reunion. And then he texts her on Thanksgiving, Happy Thanksgiving. So I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Girl, he young. And for all we know, she might not have talked to him since the last episode with when he got mad at her or whatever.
Right, and that's true. But it's just, I wish that she would have more to say then. You know what I mean about it, and more to put out about whatever it was for her, because you do keep putting out like these men somehow are doing you wrong. And I'm not clear. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not clear. But what I know is, poor Destiny, I'm tired of your men's problems, honey. Like, I'm tired.
I'm tired of it too.
We find out Trisha and Jen and Ken are planning on opening a gym. Mm-hmm. Ken asked Trisha to be more confident in him and how he got her back. And they talk about Marquez and that they met up. Then we see Trisha meet with a friend. So I guess this is how Carlos is going to try to get her to open up, more. What'd you say? You was
girl, that goddamn friend got on my nerves. Sharon need to go somewhere.
Sharon was all in the Kool-Aid. Now here, and this is what I mean by I feel like Marquez is not working with a full deck, but y'all do be effing with him too, because old girl was kind of like, how he come in the door and you ready to come have him sit down and have a conversation with you? You know what I mean? Like I kind of felt where he was coming from. And then too, like you, this your new friend, you've been knowing her 4 years. Like, I've been married. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not gonna have a conversation with you about, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't. Yeah, she was out of line.
I thought he did it very respectful, because most of these young people would have cussed her the fuck out.
Well, he was getting ready to.
I was like, lady, shut up. Leave this man alone.
Like he said, his son came down. It was sent from God, because he was getting ready to lose his shit on that lady.
And I'm sitting here like, why don't you say something to your friend Trisha? Because we know he's still your husband.
And I feel like both of them, and that's where we're going with this storyline. Like, I don't want to see this storyline because it is fresh. It's neither one of these people are in a place where this needs to be internet discussion. They got these two little kids, and both of them look to me like they're emotionally unstable.
Yeah.
And so, and for me, that's why it should not be on television for it to be for internet discussion. Same like going back to the Mia with her kids and stuff. I feel like I've been watching old episodes of Real Housewives, which will come back and do a season 2. But remember when Nene started going through her little stuff with Brent, right?
Yeah.
Like I say, the difference with what she was doing is that was an active thing. But Nene was able to handle, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever was being discussed about it. I don't think that these two are in that position. Like, yeah, like it's so even in that conversation, which I thought it was odd. Let's get back to, I did think it was odd that as they were sitting there, Sharon and Trisha was sitting there, Trisha's telling her about Marquez moved down there. Kids ain't seen him. She said, well, I know Xavier ain't been woo because I got his location. And what do you know? So turn around and here come Marquez walking through her door. And see, that's a problem too, because who let him in? So, and what the hell was you just sitting here talking about? So did the producers, because she stopped her friend, she had this thing where she knew something was
exactly off. But I think, didn't Marquez say he was dropping off the daughter?
That's what he said. And so that's, well, because when the girlfriend got there, Trish told her, she said, Xavier went to pick up, what's her name, Zara or something? Yeah. He went to go pick her up from school and take her for a protein shake. So like you said, when Marquez popped up in her foyer, after she just proclaimed to know everywhere her kids be, and so this is it. We see them both fighting to prove their points of view in a public arena. And it's kind of like, this is not the place for that. Like, and y'all's trying to get a divorce. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ugly, it's nasty. Y'all need, and this is where Carlos and this is where I call Carlos messy. When he digs his heels into something like this.
Yeah.
As a story. For me, this is way too messy for Carlos to be a part of. And he gonna get on his platform and he's gonna talk about how much he cared and how much woo. And it's just like we already see from the preview, and we guessing it's at this moment in time. So I don't know where the hell Ken come from. Because the girl is still there. The girl Sharon, but it looks like this is when they get into this fight. I thought it was at the bowling alley or something, because I remember that going on. Maybe it's a different fight, but so now all of a sudden Ken, who the peacemaker, now you come in the house and you ready to blow up on the man. Like,
I don't think Ken is really the peacemaker. I think he just wants TV time. So, because I'm like, why are they meeting at the gym and nobody has on gym clothes to have a conversation about a play date for the kids?
I agree.
Grown. Your kids is big.
That his eagerness to be in the middle part of what they got going on between they divorce, them kids, all of that pressing her about getting a divorce the way he is or had, because we ain't heard him say nothing thus yet in this episode.
But did you see how when they were driving in that truck, he just kept holding on to her? I'm like,
yeah, I said it is cringy for me. Like his eagerness in that way, it feels cringy and it feels inauthentic. I don't, but I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt in a way, and I agree. Like I say, you play this role of peacemaker, which goes back to I don't really know how you get from that part to being the one that's blowing up on the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like it's confusing for me. As a viewer. Let's see what else. So yeah, Marquez was about to go off on the lady. It looked like his son was getting him up out of there. But this is where the episode really does leave off. That's why I say I don't know where Ken gonna pop up at, because it looks like when we come back, part of that fight or him getting upset is continuing off from this scene about these divorce papers, and you heard Marquez in the midst of that argument, he's telling Trish about how she didn't come to his dad's funeral, and that's what I mean. What are we finna talk about? You know what I mean? Like his dad funeral, like we don't even know this man. Or none of the problems that you're about to bring up. You know what I mean?
So, I mean, it's the same thing like when she said that he left and it was, her mother's mother, was it her mother, father, and her sister passed away and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So I guess he about to put on, well, shit, you ain't come to my daddy funeral. So
exactly, the tit for tat, and so, and like I said, I don't necessarily look to reality TV. I feel like it's a place to look for the mess, and that's on Zeus. Like when you want to see discord, when you want to see, people fighting, and you know what I mean, just kind of destructive relationships and talk. That I think that's the place you go to for that. I don't really care to see that here. And again, I'm not proposing that this is not a real story for them. I just feel like they're not emotionally where they need to be for this to be internet conversation.
Yeah, they don't need to be on the show.
Yeah,
they really don't.
Yeah,
because my thoughts were, why is Ken and Trisha? You're supposed to be a part of the main cast. Why are you not filming with them? You done brought on your own friend, and it just seems like we got Love and Marriage Huntsville, and then we got the Trish and Ken show over here. And it just, to me, we could have did without. Just like I didn't like the other chick.
Well, and I think to your point, because she doesn't seem to have a thread in with them, which is kind of what I mean. Going back to the Arionne, here we go with that's. I think I said earlier that even though I didn't want to see Sonny and Moses back on, but as far as bringing Destiny, and who Arionne would film with, it is gonna have to be somebody who don't have that same connection to that original cast, like the Scotts, you know what I mean, to the Holts. And so it's gonna have to come from Trisha. Maybe that's why they still telling their story, or they being exploited for their story because Carlos is messy and he needs more ratings.
So you think that it's gonna be Trisha, Arionne, and Destiny?
Well, Destiny is probably going to float between.
Well,
yeah.
But she don't care for Mel, so it doesn't matter to her.
Right. Exactly. Yep. So, and then, like I said, and then I feel like I can see. What's the field calling the song? I can feel it coming
in the air tonight.
Because I feel like I can feel it in my bones that Martell is gonna ambush them people with Arionne.
Yes, he is. That's gonna be the October surprise. You know how they have that for politics, October surprise. She gonna be on that show.
Yeah, I can
And
feel it in my bones.
because
I don't
girl,
know how it's gonna happen. Like I said, I just know it. I can
what
feel
was
it in
your
the air tonight. That
what
girl
was
is
your
gonna
face
pop
like
up.
when what was your face like when he mentioned it, girl? I was like,
I was just, yeah, I was like, okay. I'm like, okay. Cause I
it's
feel like that was what, like, even my last lives talking when Mel announced her departure. I think that was a lot of the conversation I was having is, okay, what do we see for the future? And like I feel like both of us were saying that same thing is that he's got to be able to tell the story of him and Arionne now that this part is gone, and that's the only way that this show moves. You know what I mean?
because they
And
was willing to let Sheree come over.
right, right. That's the only way that this story moves, though, is to for him to be able to show that part, you know. And I mean, yeah.
So do you
So
think that even well, I was gonna say, well, they did have Sheree, but Melody never showed herself with another guy.
I don't think that she will.
Mm,
I feel like because Martell Petty. So
okay.
I think for her, she just would rather keep him, you know, as far out of her business as she can. I
So
don't
yeah,
disagree with
it was
that.
definitely time for her to leave the show then.
Oh yeah, well, just like going back to those reviews from last season, the writing was all over the wall the entire season, and this is the thing for any reality show when it comes to an ensemble cast. At the moment in which you have somebody filming on their own, it is a wrap for that person because you have to at some point get in with the group.
Yeah.
And even though we always saw them get together, it was evident that Mel was in an island on her own, you know,
Mhm. She
whether
didn't
it was
want to
of
be
her
there.
own pudding or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, she had evolved beyond this show.
Mhm.
And that's not to say anything bad about anybody. I think that her exit was warranted. I do, you know, me because I'm a romantic and probably nostalgic at the same time.
Yeah.
I hate that this is the 10th season and she's not a part of it,
Yeah.
in just in that nostalgic way that she started something with them, you know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
kind of went this way, you know. That's always for me. That's the sucky part. Like what we saying about Shamia and Portia's friendship. You know, these people did start something, and if you remember, even just I just remember even myself watching those first that first season as it aired, not you know caught on by the time all of the mess came out. I watched it from day one,
Uh-huh.
and I was really intrigued by the premise that was set to us, you know, with
Exactly.
these couples, and being in Huntsville and doing the real estate. I really kind of drew to that story of them. And so
Hmm.
yeah, yeah, for them to be 10 seasons in, we see the evolution of how it took place. But I like for me, that's the only drawback I have with Mel not being on the season. However, I mean, yeah, it was time for her to go.
Yeah. I
And
mean, the same way you feel, I hated to see the whole marriage just fall apart.
mhm, mhm.
Because I almost kind of think, had they not been on TV, they probably would still been married.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, because what, by the time we found out about Ariane, he had been dealing with her for years.
True, true, true.
So I think because it was became such a,
I think it was the
all in the
pregnancy.
media, huh? And
I
then the
think it was the
pregnancy.
pregnancy
Yeah.
more than anything.
So wait
Um,
a minute. Didn't she get pregnant after they were separated?
well, I feel like they were in the midst of supposedly being back together because she got pregnant with Sugar Mama. And
Yeah.
then she had Sugar Mama during pandemic.
Pandemic. Uh-huh.
And so I feel like she thought that her and Martell were good, but what we found out is Martell was still seeing Ariane, and so then that's where the rumor came out that Ariane was pregnant. Um, and so it got confirmed, you know, that she was, and it happened during the pandemic, which
Yeah.
that is a lot. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, yeah, Martell, you probably should have been surprising us with a marriage license because y'all done ran y'all tails down to the courthouse without nobody knowing and already got married because you let like we were in the middle of a pandemic and at the like height of it. Like this wasn't during the summer when stuff
Yeah.
started to slowly open back up. This is when they was telling you keep your
Your
tail,
ass at home. Yes. I was scared to
and
go
he was
anywhere.
going out to go meet with this girl with 4 kids in the house, a young newborn baby. So listen, like I said, who's to say what Mel would have dealt with had it not went to that type of that
Yeah.
was an extreme measure.
Yeah.
And clearly somebody that you get trying to get to that extent, you care about it in some type of way. I think Carlos brought that up to him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you risk your whole life and everybody else's to go get you a piece of, you know. So, God, all things done in the dark come to the light.
Yes,
I
true.
think that that's what what that is. I've said this to my sons, and it's funny. Me and my cousin have joked about it, and this is something that I say to young people or anytime, all the time about getting pregnant is not anything but the evidence of you having sex. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like it's just proof. Like that you have and you did. If you like otherwise, outside of the assumption because somebody is of a particular age, because you see people together, other than that, you just assume that people are active, sexually active.
Mhm.
However, once somebody presents as a female, once you present as a pregnant female, that's just proof that you have had unprotected sex.
Yeah.
So I think that for him, like we say, all the things done in the dark gonna come to the light. I think that Mel probably was struggling with what she should do. 4 kids, you
Yes.
building this stuff with somebody. I think all of that is understandable. And I think as women, sometimes as public, we don't give other women enough grace, like to know that that's hard to walk away from, whether you think
Yes.
you got it or not. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
um and that was never the goal, the dream, and like she laid up with this new baby, like yeah, he was like I said, he should have been married, Arionne, because what else is there to do after you done went through all of that to get to this lady? And so I think that God was just answering prayers for Mel. And yeah, it came by way of, that girl being pregnant a second time and deciding to keep it. Because I believe Ariane confirmed that
That she abortion. Hmm.
yeah, she had terminated a pregnancy. So, Martell was being careless, and that's just what it is.
But don't you remember when Kimmy and Maurice got married and they were out there on the boat talking, and when he told her that he had been seeing the one girl for like so many years and how her mouth just dropped. He said, because I could have been like them and had several girlfriends. I thought to myself, the way she looked, like, dang, he must really like her. He done seen this woman for these many years. This ain't no fly by night
I think
something.
that's why Mel felt like she wanted to put it out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm saying, like, stuff happens. And that's why I think as women, we should, like, especially when we talk about these subjects where we watching other women with their husbands, boyfriends, significant others, we should give them grace about the way men behave and the way women behave,
Yeah,
like in a sense. That's like I said, I think that's part of her getting it out was like a release for her,
yeah,
to kind of not hold that in, and not kind of make herself small.
yeah.
And
Because
hey,
he
and it
didn't want
worked
it
out
out
for
there.
right. It worked out for her, and that's what I said. Like, shoot, hey.
Well,
So Ariane, well, I mean, I welcome the girl. I don't think, I don't again, I don't I don't see her coming on as a betrayal to Mel.
No,
I think
it's his
Marcel
life.
already took care of that.
Yeah, it's his life. So
Hmm. For sure. But again, I don't see Tisha and Kimmy effing with her. I don't. Kimmy for sure. Tisha might entertain, but I don't think Kimmy gonna fuck with her at all. Excuse my French.
mm, yeah, they probably won't because they probably know that their husbands was around this girl. This girl got friends. I'm pretty sure the friends.
True, 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 true.
You know how men roll.
And Arionne has already had insinuations about being around and a part of seeing. So yeah, you right. I forgot
If
that.
I was the Scots, I wouldn't have nothing to say to her, especially Tisha
Yeah, yeah.
after they did the podcast.
Yeah,
So
they
do
not
you,
fooling with her.
so do you think? What do you think about the whole podcast? You think that any truth to it? Or?
No, and that's what I said at the time. I feel like it fell flat at the time. Nobody believed it. No shade to that girl. It just didn't feel believable. I don't, like I'm not gonna down her about what she looked like or anything, but it just didn't feel believable in all aspects. And again, I feel like Martell, I like the kind of suggestion Destiny gave Martell, the like heart to heart, I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Because I think that Martell does better to focus on himself. And I feel like I said that then when they did the thing, he would have done better to talk about him and her. Because at the same time, the only people that's really playing in the mud about Marceau and Tisha's wedding or marriage, or whether he got these girlfriends or whatever it is, for me are miserable people. I
Mm-hmm.
think I think most of us kind of are in the belief of ain't nothing came out that's solidified anything,
Exactly.
and your tea came bursting out the closet. You know what I'm saying? And again,
Is
that's what
that
I'm saying. Like, I'm not sure what Martell has in his head, and maybe I missed something because why do you blame them
well?
for?
You know what? I don't. Maybe it's something that happened outside the show. I mean, that we can see anyways. But it seemed this is why I kind of Mel got on my nerves when the way she was coming at Tisha while her marriage was falling apart, and then really trying to put on Tisha that her husband is cheating. If the woman saying her husband ain't cheating and everything look good over there, leave her alone. That's what I
I
thought.
agree.
That's why you want to tear, because your marriage is falling apart. Why you want to tear hers down? And I didn't like that.
I agree. I
It just,
agree. And
you
I,
know,
and I do. Misery loves company.
yeah,
Like, I agree with you that I felt that Mel was being very facetious and attacking of that girl's marriage, and it did feel like you was in that place because of the miserable place you were in. Because again, and I feel like we saw this last season, and maybe the last two seasons or season and a half, whatever it was, with Mel as she approached Tisha in a sense of, once we see you at peace, then you can just let her be. You don't need to like put the questions in her head. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, oh, why don't you find out where he at such and such time? If she doesn't feel the need to, why do you need to, put that
And
in
the
her
same
head?
thing about Maurice, what she said about the lipstick on the collar and on his.
Right,
Come
right,
on now,
right.
why are we doing this? I hate that. And I just feel like because she had been scoring so bad on TV openly and everybody know it, so I got to prove that I ain't the only one getting cheated on. We know you're not. Beyonce didn't got cheated on. Halle Berry didn't got cheated on. Everybody.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, you look right. Like, you are in a club of many, honey. Like, you are
Exactly.
the only one. I agree. And yeah, I don't. So, and that's why I really defend Marceau and Tisha in a sense the way that I do, because I think that as we have discussions and we watching shows like this, sometimes we need to point out some of the healthy aspects that you see and not just the dysfunctional. You know what I mean? And the healthy part of their marriage is that they on the same fucking page.
Yeah.
I like, yeah, like we the ones that's not on the same page with this.
Because people would tick up me talking about she should leave him. I said, for what?
I agree. I agree. Like, what have you seen that would make her need to get up and leave this man? Besides him building a whole manor for her, what did you see? You know, like, and that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like we are so jaded by toxicity that I feel like only a certain amount of toxicity looks normal to people.
Exactly.
Nobody knows what. Because again, if you're gonna be married to somebody 20, 25 years, and you can speak to this because I've never been married, but I have respect and affinity for marriage. I would love to be married, and that's the marriage that I want is to be able to trust my husband. I don't want somebody else to be able to come to me and think they can tell me about the man I'm sleeping next to for the last decade or something. As a matter of fact, you might get chewed out. Like, you know what I mean? Just,
you will.
Just for the audacity that you thought you could. You know, like the audacity that you
Girl, because them conversations I don't have.
Me about man, you know?
Exactly.
And I think and I feel like that's what people don't realize is that's the type of covenant that you're supposed to make when you go into something like that. That's like that's what we talking about. I got your back, you got my back.
Yeah.
But back to what I wanted to say is when to be married to somebody over 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, you have to find a way to be on the same page. People don't get to stay married those amount of years and they don't have the covenant between them in which it's their marriage. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they are whatever those problems are, because you don't get to 20 and 30 and 40 years without there being something. I'm not going to just assume that it's cheating, but I'm going to say there had to be something. You know, yeah. And so in order to get past that, y'all got to find a way to get back on the same page. And I think, like I said, I think most of us are not used to that. That's probably why the divorce rate is what it is.
Yeah.
And even when we talking about joining people, like not really even taking the time to think about who it is that you are marrying, Arionne. Even though I just gave you permission to marry the man, all I'm saying is, you know, hey, if that's the type of husband you want who would, you know, kind of do what he did to his last wife, then more power to you, honey. I'm going to wish you nothing but success in that. I kind of would prefer a marriage that looks a little bit like Marceau and Tisha, maybe Kimmy and Scott. Like, I mean, what I call them, Kimmy and Scott, Kimmy and Maurice.
Exactly. Because what I like is Maurice, I mean, not Maurice, but Marceau, he, even though like how Miss wanted to come in there and be talking shit, he still respects her.
He absolutely does.
Her ass out.
But that's what he a straight shooter. You know what I'm saying? But like, and that's what I said. He doesn't code switch. And I think that's the problem that's probably what makes people most uncomfortable about him is that you don't see him behaving any other way because of some other, you know, some other environment or something that he's in. He's who he is. And I said this from day one. I like Marceau.
I like him too.
And even when like I did look at him, I do think that he has chauvinistic ideas. Thoughts, you know what I mean?
And Maurice, they both do.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's the problem: why it's not a problem. If you're doing what you're supposed to, when it comes to it, that's you know.
Look, because he didn't want his wife to work.
That's right, and he made sure that she did. Never to work. You know what I mean? Like that, right? That's what that is. And some of you ladies out here don't even know. Like, pick up on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, you can't have somebody talking to you about he don't want you to work and he can't, you know, kind of provide, and he not trying to provide. So I understood why Tisha wanted to work, and I was not against that. And so I thought, which you see, he came around. When he came around, when he saw the dollar signs talking, when she got that commercial deal for him,
Yes.
he said, "Okay, now let me shut the f up." And see,
But remember when she said she wanted to try to be more like Mel? And he said, if
yeah,
you be like
and he
Mel,
was like,
motherfucker,
"No,
we'll
no,
be divorced.
no." But like I said, when she got that deal for him,
Yes.
that's when he said, "Okay, like okay, let me sit back and let me." And Mel made a good point. But here's the other part: there's nothing wrong with that. Do you know how many men would not be able to sit back and sign their control over to their wife? I don't give a doggone if it is only because so she can get access to more grants or whatever. Do what everybody do what they gotta do. Duh.
Yeah.
But you know how many men would be so prideful that they wouldn't even do that
Uh-huh.
to benefit their own house, their own,
Mhm.
their own um goals and dreams. And see, and that's the part that nobody is paying attention. So I mentioned in this live earlier, I'll mention it again. Remember when they did the marriage retreat with Dr. Francis?
Uh-huh.
Tisha and Marceau did the best. And that's the one whose marriage, right, was constantly, even at that point, constantly up for attack. And yet that's what I said. I said, well, clearly they know something that everybody else don't know because they did better than everybody, which means they communicate with each other. Tisha let him be who he needs to be, let him, protect and provide for her, and she do what she needs to do. And that is a balanced marriage.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Scott Manor because I'm looking at
Mhm.
how they redid that little house right there. I said, "Oh, that is so enough Char."
Yeah. And
I
that's
said,
what I'm saying. Like, okay, think about how many people now we know that she complaining about her project being last on the list. And I do know that there are a lot of people who have builders or
yeah,
contractors as husbands joke about that. But also joke about like how long it might like he's getting that done for his wife.
girl, that's gonna be beautiful. I said because
And
they
it's
done
gonna
took
be
that old
beautiful.
house and made it
And
nice.
that's what I'm saying. Like how, like, but again, and he knows it. That's why he not. That's why he doesn't. He feeds into the internet fodder in a facetious way.
Yeah, he do. Because I'm in some of the groups that he's in, and he be on there clowning.
Exactly.
I
Yeah, in
enjoy
a
it.
facetious way because. Yeah, him and Tisha on the same page. That's why she shut her mom down in the sense where she was
We're
trying
not
to,
gonna do this.
that girl. She like, okay, we're not gonna do that.
Yeah,
And I agree, like, hey, he does seem to be good to her. I hate, and I'm okay with Tisha not taking what other people have to say about her husband, especially if it's not lining up with what's happening in your
in the
life,
household. That's right.
and not running with it. I don't have a problem with it at all. What
Because oh
everybody
my
needs to do is
goodness,
find themselves some healthy relationships to be in and analyze so you can know what it looked like.
oh, they came up with a picture of his supposedly back.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right. What you say, Miss Durgan say, as long as you are true to yourself, I know what I'm dealing with. True.
Yeah.
True. That's what I mean. I think that's why he maybe rubs people the wrong way is that he doesn't really shift. And I agree with you. He is respectful to Miss Wanda. And which that might be why I was saying I like that she takes up for her daughter,
Mm-hmm.
but I also like that it doesn't create you like
Drama
it's
in the
not
household.
her and him arguing back and forth, because he does respect that,
Mm-hmm.
and I think
And
for
he
that
knows it's a
is why
TV
he
show.
still continues to show up like he does for Tisha because he know Wanda gonna get in that ASS about her daughter. I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
believe,
but he knows it's a TV show, and
of
she's good
course.
with TV.
Of course. Say I'm gonna be honest though and say I still can't feel Tisha. I never cared for her or Mel. Yeah,
I like Tisha.
Tisha is fine with me. I mean, like she wasn't my favorite. Kimmy is my favorite.
Okay.
I do, prefer Kimmy, but I like Tisha. Tisha's finding her.
Her way.
She's finding herself, right?
Yeah,
Her
because at first she was
individual
too
way.
timid.
And what I like about her journey also though is it has not been presented to us in a way of I got this. kind of like Wendy from Potomac. When
Okay.
Wendy came on Potomac, I loved Wendy, but it was like you gave us confusion because your first season you presented Professor Wendy, you checking the girls, and then the next season you shifted, you got your body done, you know, like, and now you trying to tell us about how you can be more than this, and it was like, well, who are you, go?
I couldn't stand Wendy. And the reason why, because I was used to seeing Wendy years prior as a political commentator. And when I seen her on the show, it pissed me off. I'm like, what? And then when she came back with her body all done, I'm like, okay, you look cute. But I don't know.
Who is you so? In the words of Kenya Moore.
I was so mad at her. Oh, because she used to be
and it's confusing for the audience. I think that sometimes the people don't really understand that. And it's not like, look, we all are growing individuals, so you don't have to have it all together. But just be transparent about it. Don't come and come and present yourself and you woo woo woo, and then the next season you come and you like, but listen, and it was like, but no, you're the one. I agree. You was checking everybody about your degrees. You know, honey, like that was all you stood on, and then you come back and now you want to stand on all this plastic surgery. Now you want to go toe to toe with Mia. You know what I mean?
I didn't like her. That's why I did.
Yes, I'm waiting on her to find herself. She getting there. She getting there. She says she's such a copycat follower. Oh, now listen. What I do think is, I think that we talking about like in the earlier seasons when she came up with her.
Okay.
And she kind of had the similar branding that was to Mel. Then she had the copy, it was the policy from
us, Stormy.
Yeah, so
I forgot. Look, can you see it?
What's that? Stormy, okay, you got the baby butter. Okay.
Yeah, I like this one. This one costs like $125.
Okay. $125?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, is that from Stormy?
Yes, it's from Stormy.
Okay.
Cologne too.
Okay.
It smells pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
I bet it better be good for $125. Now listen, I am all about supporting our Black businesses. Now I went on to Mel's site, to kind of look up for some stuff because I like I'm not big on the creams. I like oils, which I'm coming up with my own too. Just a shameless plug, just so y'all know.
Wait, now let me buy some. I'm
testing out some oils myself because I kind of have a little bit of eczema, so I'm looking for something that kind of helps.
Okay, my grandbaby does. So
but I went on Mel's site because she has a body oil, right? And so I wanted to, but honey, I think hers was like $72.50, and I'm not for nothing. I can't imagine paying for that on an online service. Like, I need you, Mel. I need your next step to go ahead and to get in a Bloomingdale's or into a Nordstrom's or something, somewhere. Maybe a Bath and Body Works. Because they have stuff that costs them, you know what I mean, that's in that range. I'm only saying that because I don't know if I can pay that much money to just a private owner. I'm serious.
The box pretty nice too. Look at the box. You can see it.
Okay. Cute.
And it came like that.
Nice.
It's boxed up real nice, and I've seen it. I usually get her other glazes, which is a lot cheaper than that, but this is the signature. And like I said,
What's the fragrance? Is it like cocoa butter?
Oh no.
Okay.
It's a fragrance. It's a fragrance of the cologne.
Okay.
It smells good though.
Okay.
I wear it just like I wear my Chanel.
Well, I ain't mad at you. That's why I'm saying like. But maybe I need to catch one of them TikTok sales and
I like it though. It smells pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
I do want to support. I do like to support and just kind of get some ideas because, like I say, I want to kind of do an oil and a lip scrub and a lip
Okay,
oil. That's kind of what I've been
okay,
working on.
okay. Because I'm always purchasing, honey. Especially because Funky Dineva, whenever he be having the people on there, and I love body butters. That's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I buy, girl. I'll be trying out some of everybody's body butter to see which ones I like. But I really like her glaze.
Okay.
And I done bought several. I think I bought at least 5 of them from her.
And now she has a shelf life, right? Like, what is it? Because somebody was like doing some bad reviews on her stuff, talking about it. I guess the way maybe it.
Girl, now look, I had where it go? I had one. I done had it for more than a year.
And so, and it still looks fine. Ain't nothing like
Yeah.
happened to it.
No,
Okay.
no, it looks
Okay.
good, and it smells good. I don't have a problem with it.
Good. Okay. Yeah.
And I done had this a while because my
I
other
did
one.
purchase her hair gummies that she did like a collaboration on TikTok, and so I got the patches, the rose and the turmeric, the morning and AM. I did like those. And then I don't think the gummies was hers, the vitamins. I think
okay.
Patches.
If she got an expiration date on.
Yeah, let me I'm interested.
I don't see no expiration date on.
Well, then maybe she got that all together. Yeah.
Well, you know how you have to do. You try with error.
Yeah, exactly.
So she had to change up the formula a little bit, but all of it I like because the first one I bought was the donut one. I like that. And then I bought a couple of her little body sprays along with it, and then I bought another body glaze, another fragrance, and then I bought one with the drops. He's right here. What is it? The body drops. Was it say Sienna? I ain't got my glasses on. But, it still smells good. I don't know how to use it. So
okay.
Yeah. I haven't I like it. So I might try it.
I had always used her I had come across Canvas, that deep conditioner. I was always telling people like, yes, go get that, but I hadn't got into any of the other stuff.
Now some of her stuff I guess it's supposed to be selling at Walmart. Is that true?
I know. Well, the Canvas Beauty I got was at Target.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh. Okay, well. So, and you said Mel is not in any stores yet.
I haven't seen her, no, or even seen her announce anything like that. So no.
Well, she look like she got nothing but time now. Is she doing anything?
It looked like she should be expanding at some point, though. Take that mess out of her garage. We'll see.
Yeah. So.
All right, guys. So listen, y'all drop down in the comments. Let me know what y'all thought about this season opener of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I thought it was a great season opener. Shout out to Carlos King.
Yes.
He knows how to put things together.
He needs to be back on Roa.
We probably do. And it looks like possibly, I know Kim gave a little response, like a little winky wink, that they might be talking about her coming back. I guess at this point it's okay, like just because I guess we would like to see where she going out. Who you talking about? Kim Zolciak, girl, on Housewives of Atlanta
for next season.
She gave like a winky face to a response of a fan that was saying that they needed to come and give her back. So it kind of seemed like she was insinuating.
Did you hear what kind of work
about
her husband is doing?
What kind of work is her husband doing?
Girl, he's doing like manual labor, like a crane operator.
Well, I feel like Croy was going to be doing that no matter what, because he.
I said, what the hell?
He just seemed like somebody who was gonna have to go chop some wood just because that's what he do. I ain't really feeling bad that that's what he's doing. I'm
thinking Paul Bunyan over there.
Anyway.
I don't know.
Would you say, okay, well, she won't get my ass, but I do want to try Mimi False New. I didn't know something.
I didn't know either.
Okay. Yes, raindrops. Okay, you the president.
Okay.
Okay, president of the raindrops.
Okay, because she's the one who said no Carlos slander, right? No Carlos.
Right? Yeah. No Carlos slander.
Yeah, but I think that if Kim comes back, God dog, I just don't want to see nobody that is on the same level as me, and I feel like she's on the same level as me. I mean, she got name notoriety, but unless she's getting older, so I don't know what wealthy man about to pick her up.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't. Okay, so we have her on here. She's gonna be the poor housewife.
Who, Destiny? Oh, you talking about Kim? Yeah. Well, the truth of the matter was she always kind of was. She just overspent her money.
But now she poor for real. Is she back in the town now?
Well, yeah, right. That she can't hide it behind nothing, right?
She poor with a whole bunch of kids.
That's why I said, well, she do need a check. And I guess maybe
I don't need to see her.
You say I don't need to see her.
No.
ASS, Miss Dogan said. I don't know. We'll see. Because we'll see after this reunion tonight. So we're gonna do live tomorrow okay, we'll go live, y'all, tomorrow for part 2 of Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. I feel like it's gonna be boring. I saw a couple clips. I'm just letting y'all know already.
Oh Lord,
clips, and it wasn't moving for us. I was just like, Shamia and Phaedra seem like they're gonna have some discussion and back and forth about this. What Phaedra said. Yeah. Here we go again with Portia not taking up for her friend, an ex-friend at this point, because at the current state of where their friendship is, I ain't sure if Portia was supposed to say something or not. It felt like she should have, but she didn't. Girl,
this is like watching paint dry. I'm not lying.
It is.
So I'm gonna do my best to put my attention and focus on it, but I'll try to write some notes.
It is. And Angela was having the best season until she pulled out that scheme that Drew set up, baby, because that was a page out of the Book of Prophet.
Girl.
Book of Prophet, honey. Like that, like who came up with that? Inspector Gadget, Inspector Nadget. Wait, who are they the other people that remember when we watch Scooby-Doo and they had to catch the people?
They were on Scooby-Doo?
No, I'm trying to say this scheme that Angela that came up with.
I don't know. It's
so wrong that she is the cope. Like you, the people that Scooby Doo didn't end up getting. Like the people end up kind of coming.
Come on,
right?
It's Angela.
Right? Yeah. And even because. Okay, Angela, the way you connected those dots, girl, I was just like, oh my God. Like I said, this is the scheme that Drew set up. Like, Drew set this up from the tape recorder and the Prophet.
We didn't learn nothing.
Yeah, we didn't learn a damn thing from them screenshots. Like, and they all Facebook friends. And it, like, girl.
I thought she was going to have pictures with Phaedra.
I thought she was going to have a whole contract. Okay, like a whole Zelle receipt. You know what I'm saying? Wire transfer. As a matter of fact, why didn't you ask for that?
Girl, she had the She News.
Okay, right. She News by Drew Sidora, okay? Like brought to you exclusively, okay,
She
from
could have just left that
we
all
put these
alone.
two together. Yeah, she should have left that alone.
Yeah, she
And
should
so
have.
I'm like, we gotta still kind of delve into that. I'm already kind of dreading it, but we gonna be here with y'all tomorrow and bring it to you. Thank God Love and Marriage Huntsville is back on and we get to kind of see, what comes after this. So, like I said, we are gonna see Nell and the Fletchers kind of go after the Scotts. It looks like Destiny is dating anybody she can, and it looks like they all are part of Nell's family somehow.
Girl, you know what? And once they said that, I'm like, so did Destiny not mess with Martell or what?
Who's to say?
I'm like, damn.
Destiny's relationships seem to all be casual or what they call situationships.
Because remember, she was trying to get at Kimmy's son.
Right. Right. That's what I say. She seemed to be the poster girl for a situationship.
I don't know. It ain't cute. But
It's not
I will say Destiny with the outfit like Angela looked nice.
Oh, I didn't even pay no attention.
And that black and white outfit.
Yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. You're right.
I said Angela looked like Destiny lost a little bit of weight. She looked nice. I didn't care for her confessional look. I said she's trying to pull off a Porsche with the gloves and all that, but it just didn't sit well to me. Maybe it looked nice standing up, but sitting down.
Girl, Destiny is trying to pull a she's the star of the show because they had her kind of in the middle. And
but I was noticing too, do you think that the Scotts are going to be the
I would think that they are, but I feel like it's a battle between Martell and the Scotts. So, and that's what I'm saying. It feels like this is my opinion, y'all, and it's just based off of what I see, right? I'm very intuitive, y'all, so y'all probably want to listen to me just a little bit. Like I said, that scene with Martell and the Fletchers for me was telling. The stuff that they wasn't saying, it felt like Martell was having a conversation with people who he expected to take his side in this battle between him and the Scotts. I think Martell probably believes, if not true, that's why I'm gonna go back and check those credits, because I'm almost certain that Mel probably is still getting the credit. I can't imagine her walking away from the EP credit. Even if it is just a vanity, but both her and Martell have been credited as EPs. So I'm saying this to say, if she did walk away from the EP credit, I'm certain that Martell still has his. And with that being said, just like Mariah Huck and anybody else, if they got an EP credit, they feel entitled that this is somehow
their show.
Yeah. And I think Martell is going to run with that. So it's kind of one of the things that's kind of like to be seen. Now, what Carlos could do is take it as like that's why I say I feel like Martell would be willing to burn the whole house down. So even if it doesn't stay collectively a Love and Marriage Huntsville, maybe it branches off to something else with the Scotts, right? On their own. And then something else where it's Martell and maybe the rest of them. You know what I mean? And I guess this might take us some time to see too. I don't know that this is all going to play out this season, but I think we'll have to wait and see. But I feel like Martell thinks this is his show, and I think that he feels like everybody who's on his side, this is their show. That's who coming with him on this. That's what I think.
Well, okay. I was wondering how this gonna go.
Because he's looking to expose somebody. And here's the thing, and I don't even know what he got to expose. I guess we're going to have to ever see if he ever gets to exposing it. If it's something to expose. Oh, I boogie in my eye. I can't get out, y'all. Sorry. Oh, there you go. Whoo, shot. And like Maurice. I didn't like because it's interesting when we get to see Martell have conversations with them. It is this like ring around the rosies thing, which is why I want Martell to just spit it out already. If it's what you got to say it. Because Maurice asking Martell like, what does my penis look like? I'm kind of thinking like, I don't know if that's a good way for you to prove that he did or didn't. You know what I'm saying? If what he's saying is true or not true.
Because I'm pretty sure they all been to the gym and played basketball and all that kind of stuff.
Anybody has memorized what your penis looks
yeah,
like.
exactly, though.
Yeah, to turn around and be able to regurgitate that to you. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think that didn't seem like a.
I don't know. He doing it for the TV.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very over the cliff. Very like, okay, are we gonna really discuss this? You know what I mean?
Because I need this storyline to be wrapped up.
I would love for it to get wrapped up. Yeah, I really do. That's what I'm saying with Martell. Spit it out, or keep it to yourself.
Exactly.
You know, because at this point, nobody else is spitting it out, and you and Arionne are not the most credible people. So I don't know if it's working. I don't even know if it's working in your favor. Just like I like the scene going back to Kimmy, the way I like the way she communicated when we saw the preview. And Nell says, "Oh, well, I don't think you all are transparent." And Kimmy says, "You think that our husbands are cheating on us and we don't want to talk about it." Like, yeah, say what you want to say. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't sugarcoat it up in this. Oh, I don't think you transparent about what? You know, like say what you want to say. Mm-hmm. And like that's kind of the energy I look for. It's kind of like, if you ain't gonna spit it out, then I'll pull it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. What are you saying? You know? And so I feel like maybe we'll get down to the bottom of it, because I think for Neil and Chris, like, it seemed funny to me that you would get on the side of attacking these people's marriage, unless Martell got y'all feeling like your future is over on his, you know what I'm saying, on his trailer, hitched to his, trailer. Mm. But we'll see, honey. We shall see. And we'll see Destiny's messy ass love life too.
What do you think about her supposed to be a realtor for 19 years?
I feel like, why the hell you ain't been said this? It's the same thing with Destiny over and over again. It's a broken record. I don't care for Destiny. Destiny did not have to come back. She can still not be back, because again, all we're getting is stupidity. Watching you, you know what I mean, like man hop. And the age group of people that watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, that's not where we are. Even the single women. Drop down in the comments and let me know. I'm speaking for everybody on that. So, because she's our age range. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know many women who running around like that. Right now.
I don't know. I just thought to myself, being a realtor for 19 years, I mean, we just watched her struggle and lose everything. You're not established at all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Her, like, it's the same story with her, is that we've seen you all of this time and we still have these, like, why is it that we didn't know you was a realtor 6 years ago? When we first met you?
And what I thought about too is they have all those different business conferences and stuff. You ain't rubbing elbows with these people, and then she wants Martell, who had promised to, I mean, to me, she's not established enough to expect Martell to let her list his
well, that's her fallout. See, that's her issue. That was why she fell out with Mel.
Yes.
What her issue was, that she wants somebody to pull her, you know what I'm saying, like, along with them. And going back to, like I said, her story, it takes so long for us to get it. Like, we still don't know the issue between her and LeBaric. She still, like, that's going back right now this season. She has something she can talk about that deals with her and her ex-husband. But instead, we're going to find her dating Nell's godson, dating Nell's son, dating the cousin. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to talking about your life. And then, like you said, so you came, you was pregnant, we got introduced to you with LeBeric, came back the next season, y'all divorced. Didn't have you just had a baby. No explanation for it. It took us all the way to last season to have that scene with her dad. And to find out that little bit that the dad raised her on his own, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much. You have been on the television for way too long. And every time we see you, you're presenting something new.
Yeah.
Where's the storage unit? Is that where they was having the meeting at?
No, that was not it, honey. That was in the office. I noticed that right up front. No, honey. I thought, oh no, the storage unit.
And I'm like I said, I feel like I am sensitive because I feel this way when I talk about Sheree too. Like with my business and my journey business, I understand like getting in something and you just crawling before you walk, like you're not knowing how to, how to do this and the third. So as far as how long it takes, like to be successful or, I'm sensitive about it too, because I'm still working on my stuff and I get it. But at the same time, it's just like, girl, it's always, I feel like I'm constantly readjusting with Destiny.
Yeah, but for her to be with the whole comeback crew and they're all doing real estate and you're not doing good in real estate.
And never said anything about it. You even as you were introduced to us as male friend, it was not because y'all both had real estate. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this feels like it was out of nowhere.
Yes. I'm like, 19 years? Really? Kimmy ain't been in real estate 19 years. She looking at stuff, commercial properties for 32,000 square feet. And you worried about listing one of Martell's homes.
Yeah. And that, like I said, that's what she got, fell out with Mel because you supposed to be my village. And it was like, girl.
Yeah.
You see what this girl is going through? You think she's supposed to be trying to.
Yeah, I felt that's why she tried to latch on to her. But I feel the same way. She was trying to bully Martell into making him use her to list his properties. Where Chris, we already know he's established. And I'm like, he was kind of slow to say, but girl, please, is your real estate license still any good?
Right. We gonna assume so since your butt.
So that was one for me. I'm like, she struggled in all this, and it don't take much. I'm not saying it don't take much, but she could have been selling, listing properties and all that stuff while she still was trying to run her business. I feel like when she got
Moses, honey, which here we go again. That is probably her problem. Is she probably needs to get her mind off these raggedy ass men.
That's what I was thinking. When she probably got with LeBeric, she wanted LeBeric, he's gonna take care of him. He already got an established business, and that's it.
Yeah.
And
so I'm like, your man off these raggedy ass men and get on her grind and get it together. Because like you said, even with her like candles and stuff like that, like I said in the last review for the last season, because I remember this verbatim with Destiny, her products and why she's not finding some of the success that she wants is in direct correlation to her story on this show. I don't know who connects with Destiny, but most of us don't. Destiny feel like she has a fan base, and I'm okay with that. Just like, listen, I got my little 1,300 subscribers over here. I feel like I got my community too. Like, it ain't a 10K or whatever. So, look, like I say, I ain't gonna knock the girl, but I am saying if she's looking at her counterparts, I'm looking her up on because I don't even follow her on Instagram. I guess maybe I can give her a follow. And because I'm gonna just compare this, I'm gonna give her a follow. Fine. And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna compare this and compare their followers, because I'm gonna show y'all the point that I'm gonna make is her story does not resonate with the rest of the viewers. And so that's why she's not finding the type of success that she wants with her e-commerce. The same way that Mel been able to, the same way that Stormy been able to, and a lot of other people, to be quite honest, Kaleidoscope, all of that. But okay, she got 119,000 followers. That's
Okay.
what she got on her page. Now let me see. I'm gonna try Stormy. Stormy got 320K. Okay. Let's go to let's go to Mel. Let's go to Mel. Melody got 632K.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Tisha. Tisha. What's Tisha's I know I
Girl.
do.
Is it Letitia Scott?
Okay, yep, you're right. I just put in Tisha. There she go. 199K. So what did I say? What you call it here? Let me go
Oh,
back.
I thought it was. I thought.
119. So she's still lowest on the totem pole. Now you hear y'all following me about how her story has resonated with the fans of Love and Marriage. Now who's the next one? Kimmy.
Kimmy.
Kimmy got 273K. That's because she a lot of people's favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Besides Mel, outside, who else? Who else? Hell, we can even let's go for the men. Marceau got 118, which Marceau don't give a doggone.
Yeah.
But do you see how he is right there with Destiny?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just strictly being Marceau. So that just lets you know where Destiny is in the land of the public. And that's my point is she needs to get on top of it. You need
Yeah.
to get her followers together. You need
Yeah,
to
but she's not a. She doesn't, to me, appear to be a go-getter.
clearly, because again we've not seen that in all of this time, which is why I agree. Like I don't need to. I'm done with you, girl. I am done with Destiny.
Because there's
Like
no way in the world I could be around that echelon of people.
and not step up to the plate and not even get to where these resources are. Like you
Exactly.
said, and you sitting up and you gonna force Martell, to put you on the listing. Yeah, I agree.
Because, I mean, because if I'm hanging around that kind of people, first I'm going to learn. I'm going to find some that go through, the same avenues that they are doing. And ain't no way in the hell I've been down here. Then she say she had to go down there and get on government assistance.
Yeah, that's what she
And
told
you
me.
got realtor's license and you
I'm
hang
trying
around.
to tell you. That's what she said.
You hanging around builders, a lawyer, a nurse.
Maurice got 119. So
Mm-hmm.
like I said, you literally have the same amount of followers as somebody who is a supporting role.
And they're not even trying.
And right.
Where Martell got?
Oh, let's see. He might not. Is he still? Yeah, I did see him go on his page the other day. 316.
Okay. What coleslaw got?
Oh, I feel like she came up. I did go ahead and follow her too because I want to see if she's gonna post some stories. She got 79K.
Okay.
But that's strictly off of being coleslaw.
Exactly. Let's see what.
And so here we go again. Compare that to Destiny. Destiny got 119. That's 30,000 more. And Destiny, you've been a staple. You've been on the show. On the show. That's what I was saying in that last review too, is that she hasn't figured out that her story is not resonating because people would support you just because they like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you ain't giving us nothing, girl.
She's not. We're not seeing her home.
Yeah, you're not giving us nothing.
Not at all. We're not.
Nothing. No real story. And like I said, I'm 45. I'm single. I'm actively dating, but the way that we watching Destiny Day, it feel like I'm watching somebody in their 30s or something. I don't.
20s to me.
You're right. I gave her a little leeway.
Now when you messing with the son and the play cousin godson or
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, like, yeah, you just hear, and like, I guess Neil is gonna make reference to like maybe she might be sleeping with him, so she like, don't put them on my, don't put mouths on my, coochie. And so I'm not gonna insinuate that she's sleeping with these guys, but they
I
just
wouldn't even dated him. We wouldn't have went nowhere. It's
that's
like,
what I'm going to say. They just don't seem to have a caliber of like who you should even be entertaining.
girl, she's supposed to be trying to mess with men that's on Marceau, Maurice's, Chris's
It would seem that
level.
you would try to be.
At least on her ex-husband level.
Yeah, it would seem that you would try to be. But yeah, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not interested in that. Like,
No,
I'm too old for it. You too old for it, girl. Like, somebody should pull you to the side.
Right. This is not cute.
Mm-mm.
It's not. You need to be about getting the money. And it seems like, I guess, maybe whatever they're paying her on the show is good enough for her.
Well,
so and that's it. She's not really trying to build a brand.
Yeah.
Because if she
Yeah,
was,
like, it might be just for surface, just because I feel like a lot of people feel like they should, and you should. But like I say, if you're not gonna engage, like, it's a waste of time because
exactly, because how long is the show gonna be on?
Mm-hmm.
And you're not getting any younger.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you need to be setting up something for that little toddler you got.
You say that's the issue. She want to be hush hush, but be on reality TV show. Yep. So yeah, we agree with that. Like, she just doesn't connect with the fan base, and that's just what it is. And like I say, I feel like that was why she fell out with Mel. The underlying surface, what she did was she thought she was going to gain public, I think, fan popularity by kind of attacking Mel in that area, because I feel like it was Mel has always had the millimeters and then the 9 millimeters, and so there was that thing of Mel was being mean and not a good friend, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where some of that was coming from, where she called herself trying to call her Mel out on not being a good friend and not being there for her, but it fell flat. You
It
know,
sure did.
it fell flat. And so it was like, yeah, girl, like, you kind of threw your friend away for something silly, because the way you was telling her and what you was telling her was out of control, that you would expect that from her.
No, it was. I'm just through with her. What she just said. She's been in the game for 19 years.
What you say, girl? She sound like Britt Edie with that lie, huh?
Yeah, go sit your ass down somewhere. I don't understand it when you've been rubbing elbows with all these people.
Yeah, I agree.
You up with the upper echelon of people in Huntsville, and it's the best you can do.
I agree.
And you to know that you're friends with these people, and you had to get on public assistance, lady.
And that, see, like, she tried to shame Mel, like, about, like, that she was supposed, like, yeah, girl, no. And then I agree with you. You got the nerve to be sitting on a license.
Yes, girl, I'm done. I really, she can go, because that to me makes no sense. I'm already on this show, so I'm supposed to use the show to my advantage. I'm around Carlos King. I am around Martell and Mel, the king and queen of the show. Then they're doing all these business expos. They're the comeback crew, comeback gang, whatever the hell they call themselves down there. And your ass can't even get a damn listing. And right. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because my little cousin down there in Huntsville, and she got her real estate license.
Mm-hmm. What's your problem, Destiny?
Exactly. I don't understand it. You was married to a man who had a thriving business.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. I just think she's probably looking for somebody to take care of her. And then when she was getting arrested for fraud and shit like that, I mean, it just don't make sense to me. She
It
should.
seems like, where are those questions? Where is that answer? Like, that's what I'm saying. Instead, we watching you run around with these young ass boys. No, get off my screen. That, like, you got a young son. First of all, let's not talk about how you really should be focused on something else. But
I don't. She just, to me, when the show was supposed to be about people who are excelling down there, she ain't won. Once she got divorced herself, she stopped.
stock dropped. Her stock dropped when she got a divorce.
Yes, I mean, you had to get on public assistance. Something's fucking wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't been that damn broke, and I ain't been on damn TV show around no Carlos King, not around Mel, the Mel and the Millimeters, and Martell, and whoever else.
The Mar Soldiers.
Yes. You could have been working with them. I don't understand around Tisha, all them. Kimmy.
Probably here, like, and I do think, I feel like they did try to address that a little bit, but it seemed like probably too prideful.
Girl, I would not ask, I would have been trying to make business deals. Because if you only got $5,000 in the bank, $5,000 ain't gonna go far. Right. So I'm already seeing I got $5,000 in the bank. I got to pay rent. I got to do this. I got to do that. Hey, before the season wrap, I'm about to be making me some moves so I can be making some money. Hey, what business ventures can we get into? Let's do this. Let's do. She could have sold a couple damn houses.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes no sense.
You sitting on a real estate license, and for this to be the first time we heard about it, it seems silly.
It seems very silly, especially when you had to get on public assistance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even believe in that. I think she's lying.
I feel like she probably is not lying, but she's probably kind of, maybe she may have gotten Medicaid, because you think about her having a young son. Like, well, no, she said food stamps, didn't she? She probably.
I mean, because her son should be on her ex-husband's damn insurance.
Right, that's true.
So I'm thinking, to me, maybe she got a real estate license 19 years ago, and then she got him again. Somehow, maybe she let him win, because I used to sell insurance. I don't have my insurance license anymore.
Like, she renewed the license.
Exactly.
Again, like you said, because that's not what came out her mouth, that doesn't feel like you being honest.
No, because if you doing that kind of stuff, why the fuck was you over there in the damn storage unit when you could have got you?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And that's why it seemed like that's what you should explain. That's why she's being disconnected to the audience. Like, it doesn't make sense that you would tell us you've been a real estate agent for 19 years. You've been on our TV screen for 6. How is this the first time we heard that?
Girl.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Girl, she playing with us. That's all that is.
Yeah. And Carlos letting her.
Maybe they'll say something about it at the reunion.
Carlos, I'm wondering who it is that keep bringing her back, because I feel like Carlos don't be feeling her stuff.
I don't know. Maybe she got them super fans down there in Huntsville. I don't know.
Somebody, honey, 119 of them.
Yeah, maybe they all from Huntsville.
Right.
Because Huntsville I think about the same size as Fort Wayne, so shit. So I don't know.
We're going to get ready to get up out of here. I thank you so much for joining the live, honey. Thank you, Miss Dugan, Cousins crew. If you have not already, make sure you like this video and share it with your friends. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel so you can be a part of the family. And also join myself and Word on the Curb tomorrow, 8:30. We're still gonna do it 8:40. For Real Housewives of Atlanta, the reunion season 2. Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Part 2. We're gonna try to liven it up because we know they ain't bringing nothing. Okay,
not a damn thing.
Liven it up with our own commentary. Maybe bring y'all a cocktail because we're probably gonna need one.
Girl, I'm gonna get me some. I'm gonna have me a drink ready.
Right. Yeah. Probably gonna need one just to get through it. But thanks for joining me. We will do our Love and Marriage Huntsville reviews on Sundays. I ain't sure about the time just yet, y'all. So listen, that's why you gotta be subscribed and hit the bell notification so you can be notified whenever I do go live or when I upload a new video. Make sure y'all go check out Word on the Curb. Also, check out her page and check out her review on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Because it's always good to get a couple aspects, a couple different opinions, and sometimes we might forget stuff. She might have some stuff that I forgot, so make sure y'all go over there and check out her page too. All right, so anything else? What we gonna rate? Let's leave off with a rating for the premiere. I'm giving it a 7.
I gave it about an 8. I enjoyed it.
Okay, I'm definitely giving it a 7. I think they hit all the points. Let me think. Is there, what reason would it be that they wouldn't get an 8?
Well, give them a 7 for me. Take off damn Ken and Trisha. I could have did without.
You're so funny. I'm trying to think of a way to bump them up, and you just said, you know what? You're right. Give them a 7.
The reason I was giving him an 8 because Martell gagged the hell out of me with damn Arionne. I said, oh.
Well, and I feel like that's why I'm giving them a 7, because I think that you're right. I'm not cool with the Destiny storyline. I'm not cool with the Ken and Trish. That for me, I'm just following along with that. And so we'll see what they end up bringing as the season, comes. But I feel like we cooking with something with Martell and them,
Yeah, and Kimmy clocked in,
and
look like y'all gonna be clocked in.
Y'all listen, mark this in your calendars, because I'm telling you what I say. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Arionne is showing up on the street. It might be at the reunion. Like, I'm telling y'all, that man is gonna ambush us with Arionne. Not even us. He is gonna ambush his castmates. Like,
she's coming. Because if they have a couples trip or whatever, she should be allowed to be there. Point blank.
That's what I'm saying. He is going to ambush them. And and she should. Even though nobody wants to see something where everybody uncomfortable, but that's what I'm saying. I guess I feel like it is going to be a us versus them. And I think that Martell is on the side where this is his show now that Mel is gone. I think he thinks he's in control, and
but rightfully so.
The perception of Martell thinking that he's in control is, and that's what I mean, he'll burn the whole house down. Like, so even if Scott say that they're not gonna film, he won't give a F. Like, they just won't film.
Yeah, I just say this too, though. If we're doing a reality show and everybody's supposed to show their life, it was not fair that he can't show He can't show the kids because he fought Mel on it. So the kids can't come on there. Only one come on there is probably the one that he got with Arionne. To me, we're supposed to be able to see his love interest. We hate that it's the side piece, but it is what it is. And he should not have to run around there like, I'm single and because we all wanted to see the realness.
Yeah.
And if
definitely is not, honey.
And if Trisha can bring on Sharon, who need to get out of everybody got dang on business, he should be able to bring on
Cole. I say she coming. She coming. That's what Beyonce say. She coming.
Yep.
Ooh, I think I should do that. Like, yeah, let me get a short together.
Yeah, because she is coming. But girl, I got so tickled looking at you because I'm like, who is that with that bun on her head? Go ahead, Coleslaw. Well, but that's my only thing that I think he should be able to show. And since we seen her picture and they mentioned her name, I believe she's gonna be on there, and that's gonna be our surprise.
I feel like that was that was a very good clue drop. Is that the release is signed. So she has signed off on her image and her name to be used. That's the only that's what I'm saying. Of course she's showing up. Of course
Yes,
she is.
girl.
That was the only thing keeping her from not showing up then. And it probably was Carlos just having a loyalty to Mel,
Male.
you know,
Exactly.
and respecting Mel's wishes in that way. But no Mel, free for game, free all, free
Yep.
fall.
Let the mess start.
And let's see if Arionne gets what she been waiting for.
Girl. Girl. What the
All right,
millimeters
y'all.
gonna do?
I don't know, honey, but until tomorrow, and then we'll check back in with y'all next week about another Love and Marriage Huntsville.
All
All right,
righty. I'll talk to you later.
then get out of here. See you later.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, we did that one already. All right. All right. Bye, y'all. Bye. Have a good
Bye.
rest of your Sunday.